Chris Mann has agreed to have a conversation, so thanks for that, mate. Really appreciate it. Do you want to just give us a quick overview, who you are, where you're situated, that sort of thing?
I'm Chris Mann. We specialise in custom builds in the South Coast down in Barrie.
And so we worked together back in like 2019. You came to one of these events in September last year down in Wollongong. It was like an HIA event. You've done a lot of work in your business. Very impressive. You're in the room yesterday. Tell us a bit about what you put in place. In terms, I know there's obviously a lot, but tell us a bit about your structures and the processes you put in place. Yeah.
So we put a lot of processes in place when working with Kurt, and definitely a lot after it. A lot of them were our sales process, sort of processes about how we can deal with clients and lock them through our process, and walk them through, educate them a lot, I guess. So, and a lot of that.
Team stuff. I think yesterday we were talking about how like your unique ability is your leadership, your ability to build a good team. But you've also, you've achieved a lot in terms of results. Obviously, in business, the results are, profit, workflow, cash flow. And you've gone, screaming past, as a young bloke, so Chris is only 30 years old, but you've gone flying past a lot of the older blokes. How do you deal with that? Because I know you've had some guys where they may be in their 50s. I think there was one job in particular where you won the job, but you were still in your 20s. And then he couldn't understand why, right? And you're obviously in a small community, so tall poppy, that sort of thing. How have you dealt with that? And what's your mindset around that?
Oh, so obviously starting out, when you're starting out, that people, you might be new to a town, and you start doing this work, getting the jobs, and everyone's like, "Who's this guy?" So we had that, and it's quite funny. Had a phone call, which was quite weird if you ask me. But I think it's like with anything in business, if you stick to your marketing, your sales, and then everyone throughout the town might consistently see you. So you stay consistent, that it comes a time when everyone's like, well, these guys are here to stay, and they're actually doing a good job, and they're getting amongst the community. So I guess that was something for us. And more, I believe that if the builders can actually work together, there's a lot of work. Like if you can work together, there's a lot of work in our area, especially, and I think Australia as a whole, that you can uplift the industry if all the builders do work together and band together, I guess, and uphold that sort of their morals.
Brilliant. So that mindset right there, guys, it's what I'd call like abundance, right? It's abundance versus a scarcity mindset. And I think the reason a lot of builders don't talk to each other is they're like, oh my God, like they're quoting against guys and they're holding their cards close to their chest, whereas like you just said, there's enough work for everyone, right? Like if everyone specialised in a different thing, like someone did shop fit out, someone did renos, extensions, tiny houses, there's no reason why you shouldn't work together to make the industry better. But I think what it comes down to with you, like I've done this for a long time now, right, is your standards. You've just got high standards. Some guys think, if I just build good homes, I'll have a better business. But it doesn't work that way, right? You need to have business systems as well. And then within that, leadership development. So we spoke about your leadership. You've obviously got the ability to build a great team, especially for your age and experience. Tell us about your team structure, because like yesterday again, we were talking about one thing in particular that Chris did. He created a video of his team that was very candid. It was like the cameraman was asking questions like, how would a 5-year-old, how would you describe what you do to a 5-year-old or something like that? And it was hilarious. Some of the guys are quite shy, some are cocky, but it sort of showed and revealed their personalities, right? So that's really cool. You got a good culture. What's the structure like? Like how many guys you have working for you? Yesterday you said you had a bigger team, it's a bit smaller now. Tell us a bit about that.
So our team back when you interviewed us last time was, I think we were around about 15 or 16 staff. Now we're back down to 11, bit better manageable probably if you ask the wife on the payroll. So it helps us out there. We've tracked our numbers as well, and less team, our job values have gone up. So we're actually turning over the same amount with less guys. So it's sort of a manageable process there.
So you've found a bit of a sweet spot, right? Like in terms of the right number of people. Just on that, like I get people asking me, how do I know if we're top heavy, like in the office? It comes back to that overhead to turnover metric, right? If you had 6% of turnover for overheads, you can afford to spend more on marketing or get an office admin person, all right? If you're closer to 12, you're probably going to be top heavy. So that's the way to check it. It's not really like how many people or like with marketing, someone was saying, how much do you spend? I get asked that a lot. What do builders spend on marketing? Do they have a budget? It's more about return on investment. Do you test and measure your marketing? Find a marketing strategist who's like a scientist, and then if you spend 10 grand, make 50, you'll do that as many times as you can, right? But staying with team, office admin, Mel. So you're one of the examples. Again, we spoke about it yesterday, where you brought so Mel's still with you, and you brought someone on in the office, like an office manager, administrator, who helped just put some like serious systems in place. So when I work with builders, it's about building your operations manual, right? And she helped you accelerate that. So tell us about your recruitment process. Like, how did you find her and then bring her on board?
Mel's recruitment process was a little different to what we run these days. She was working in a paint shop, and I was the young builder who was always coming in for advice on painting, because I'm not a painter, but I was generally fixing other people's stuff ups. So we ended up building a relationship through that, and so from there, Taylor, I think we had a baby and we needed help, and Mel jumped on, and since she's stayed with us since, and she's not just, for us now, she's not just a sort of a staff member, she's part of our family, I guess, and that's an approach I would say we try to push through the whole business, that we're not just here to sort of employ you, get you paid. It's sort of bringing you into where our morals lay and what we want to sort of uphold for sort of whether it's our community or our family.
That's awesome, man. So I like the fact that you use the word family. So it's like that's just a reflection of your culture and how tight it is. But the thing I remember about Mel and what you used to communicate is she like a lot of initiative, which is in contrast to what I hear from a lot of the guys I'm working with. They struggle to find people with initiative that think for themselves. And you just kept coming up with example after example of how she had done things above and beyond. Like she had shared a document, Oscar had created, she'd created, but then improve it, look for a way to improve it. So that's awesome. So just shifting across to your sales and marketing, right? Like what sales and marketing processes do you have in place at the moment, and like what sort of results are you getting? Because you've obviously you're in a good position now with workflow and lead flow. Yeah.
So for us, probably the sales process, that's streamlined now through the paid quote system. I guess that bringing people on, getting not so much a commitment, it's teaching people the value of what the builders actually are and what our process is and the amount of time that actually goes into that. So that in itself, probably for us in marketing, we've rebranded in the last 18 months, simplified the brand sort of, and dealt with biz video. So them guys have actually not so much, we always knew what our brand was worth, but it was actually an awesome process to deal with them guys and show like why we actually do it, and we put it onto paper, and sort of that whole process there really opened my eyes up to knowing that I was pretty driven and pretty committed, but seeing actually what it's all about for us was sort of that throughout that whole process. And since then, pushing that video out, we're sort of seeing the results from that now, so it's pretty awesome. So yeah.
Yeah, you're showing guys yesterday at lunch, you're showing them your video. It was awesome. Like it just communicated exactly who you are at your core, why you do what you do. And it just comes back to that word authentic. It's a bit cliche, but very authentic, right? Which is awesome. It builds credibility and trust in a big way. So you had some other exciting marketing initiatives. A lot of guys don't realize, but you can actually do like video production with suppliers. Did you guys eventually do that because you were thinking about getting involved with doing something like that?
Yeah. So when we built the house we're actually currently living in, throughout that we were trying to promote Man-Made pretty heavily. We were generally just starting out, and we dealt with a few suppliers and generally local guys trying to get onto a few bigger of the companies to sort of promote our brand and their products as well. So that was good for us if people wanted to get involved in it, and we will be looking to do that again. Currently redesigning and looking at in that field again to sort of promote the industry as well and some products, and yeah.
That's like I've seen guys get involved with not only suppliers but architects. Bear in mind, guys, like you guys need to create content, right? Photos and videos that you can put on your website and your Instagram and Facebook and all that. So do they. All right, so you can joint venture with them. Like before you give them the subcontractor, the architect, or the supplier the job, because you're going to hand them a lot of money. You could say to them, let's do a video production. If you pay for the video production, you know, they'll drop big money, 30, 40, 50 grand. Then they can have the intellectual property of the video and use it to promote their business. A lot of them have 70, 90,000 followers, and they're promoting the video of the job that you did. So you get that promotion, plus they pay for it. So we've got a few guys involved with that.
And we're just finding now with that, like if we promote some sort of suppliers and that, generally they're coming back to us now and they're asking, hey, can we have, like, because we document all of our jobs, whether it's videos, photos, and they actually will contact us and say, hey, can we have that photo? We don't even talk about price, but they're offering to pay us money to use that stock, I guess. So sort of just shows a bit of worth there.
Yeah, but they're paying you money to use your photo to promote your business on their platform. Well, I've had guys that they post a photo and they get 1,000 extra followers from one shot, and they're paying you for the privilege. All right, it's nuts. So, and you can, we've got an email that we send out with guys to send out, especially on a job that's like your big marquee blue chip job in a great area, and you're going to put it forward for an award. That's the sort of job that you do that for. What else have we got here? So you're obviously in that position where you like doing developments and things. What have you got on the cards? Yeah, you were talking about something yesterday in Berry. So Chris is from Berry. For those of you not from New South Wales, beautiful part of the world down the south coast, yeah.
So we're currently, we've kind of sold up a bit of our properties to sort of buy something else. Currently trying to sell our house in Berry, if anyone's looking. Yeah, so currently trying to sell that, which can sort of skyrocket us into sort of the next two developments we're doing. So that's sort of where we're heading, kind of sold up, cashed out, and yeah, looking to move forward after that, I guess.
I love it, man. And such a, 30 years old. But that 1,200 square metre block in Berry, is that yours or is that the development side?
So that's the development side. So we need to sell, but that's an off the market opportunity there. So no stress from other buyers, I guess, which is good for us. And if we can sort of sell, we can be able to leverage that, I guess, plus build what we're designing at the moment for our family.
Fantastic, man. Just looking at the last 12 months, what's been your biggest breakthrough learning in the last 12 months, so this financial year?
Breakthrough learning would probably be throughout, with all the good results we've had, we've also, there comes bad results. So the breakthrough learning, I guess, would be there's a process there, like the process we set out with Kurt all them years ago is there for a reason. That it's there for a reason, and don't deviate from it, because it may come back to bite you.
Mate, every time I talk to you, like you got a real positive attitude, you get a lot done, which is, I don't know if it's your generation or the one just behind you, but I heard something fascinating the other day. Anyone here watch rugby union? I know there's not a lot of union supporters, but if you jump on Stan, there's an interesting 20-minute interview with Eddie Jones, right, for the coach of the Wallabies, and Phil Gould, the rugby league guy, and they're talking about, comparing notes, blah, blah, blah. But at one point, if you watch it, this blew me away. Phil Gould asked him, what's it like, coaching? He coached England, obviously, for a long time. And he said, for the first time ever, he's had to coach players, like 22-year-olds, on being competitive. Because everyone gets a medal generation. So these guys are about to play the All Blacks or the Springboks, and he said it's a fairly painful, long process for some of them, where he needs to coach them on being competitive. You don't have that problem. You're pretty driven. Like, where did that come from? Where does that desire? You've obviously got a burning desire to succeed, and obviously it relates to standards. But where do you reckon it comes from?
You've asked me this before, and I can't put my finger on it. I guess is looking back when I was younger, my dad was generally always working, so I take a lot from that. And I just think I set myself goals always. So generally just before Christmas, I'll goal set and I'll review them. And it's not very often that I come to the day when I set the goals the next year that I haven't either achieved them or gone very close to it. So that's something there, and yeah, I just can't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just in you. You got that gene. Yeah, it's easy. It came out in your video as well, your biz video. Someone said like, if something needs to get done, you'll do it. Like it's gonna get done, whatever it is. Yeah.
I think that was Taylor. So thanks.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, close to home. Yeah.
Yeah, he's very driven. Like if he wants something, he'll get it, and he'll do whatever it takes.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, and it's
Inspiring to watch.
yeah, for sure, absolutely. That's why you're up here, and you've got the results that you have. So, what does the future hold for you guys? Where's it all heading? What's the vision for Man Made?
Probably pushing into that sort of development style structure. If we can keep up with the process that we're currently running, I'd love to continue working for clients, for the clients that respect our values and align with what we do, and just all within processing the business. So we've got the opportunity to spend time with our young kids and give them the sort of the time they need, and with the hope that maybe one day they'll like to look at the company and take it on, but there's no pressure from my side if that's not what they want to do.
I like it. Yeah. So make the business look as appealing as humanly possible to your kids. So if you can make a lot of money and have fun at the same time, more non-client work, I suppose. Yeah, it'll go a long way. Mate, congratulations on your success. Thanks again for chatting to us.
Thank you. Thanks, mate.